So it's just been revealed that Alex Bowman has been injured off track and will miss the next 3 to 4 weeks of NASCAR Cup Series racing. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I kind of laughed out loud when I read this. Now, not in a bad way, just in a I can't believe this is happening again way. I mean, another driver, another big name driver, is injured off the track and is going to be missing races in NASCAR. This just wow. I mean, Alex Bowman, first off, how did this happen? Well, he got injured in a sprint car crash the other day. It was in North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken, and let's take a look at the crash. Alex Bowman is the one driving the Ally car, of course. And you see him going in, and the other driver is Carson Mendel, and he is flipping. Yeah, it definitely looks like he's got the worst of the wreck, but Bowman also got a few flips in case you didn't see. But here's a video of him walking away, clearly walking away okay. That's always good to see in a scary wreck like that. And back injuries, first off, are no joke. I mean, you look at guys like Jeff Gordon, Dale Jr., Tony Stewart, a few to come to mind. They all got back injuries, and we saw their performance in Cup. They were never the same, but hopefully this isn't as severe. Like, this is just a minor injury since he's only going to be missing a few weeks. But honestly, I hope the best for Bowman. But honestly, the part of me is like, didn't we just do this? I mean, I don't know if y'all are keen on keeping up with NASCAR on a week-to-week basis, but in case you haven't noticed, Chase Elliott, the most popular driver and my favorite personally, he's been out the last few weeks and has just returned recently because he had a similar injury. He was snowboarding and broke his leg and missed like 6 weeks. And that's not good. That's not good for Hendrick Motorsports. That's not good for the team. And it's the same drivers. They're driving for the same team, though. And that's just got to be like, Rick Hendrick and Jeff Gordon have got to be just shaking their heads at this point. Because Chase Elliott, he's gone. You got the full support behind him. But with Alex Bowman, it's like, okay, twice is a little much, And this just sparks the debate again. Should drivers have more restrictions? I mean, like, look at this crash right here. Alex Bowman, this isn't the first time he's been injured. He was injured last year at Texas. He received a concussion and missed 3 races at the end of the year, effectively ended his playoff hopes. And, like, this really just raises the debate. Should drivers be restricted more from doing these crazy activities off the track? And, there's so many different points and arguments to both sides. And when something like this happens where a driver gets injured, it just helps the argument for, yes, they shouldn't be allowed to do these things off track. And honestly, I'm in the middle. Even after this, I'm still in the middle. Because on the one hand, you want the drivers to be safe, first and foremost. But at the same time, you got to remember that what they're doing on a week-to-week basis isn't safe at all. They're doing something very dangerous. So you don't want them to be in any more risk than they already are. And then you also have to remember that, they've got their own lives. They have a career like anyone else. And sometimes you just need downtime. Sometimes you just need to do the things that you enjoy. And if they're a little dangerous, then okay, so be it. You don't want to tamper the drivers or make them, unhappy, I guess, with your team. Because if they're good enough and got a few options, then guess what? They might just choose to go somewhere where they'll be allowed to do those crazy things. But I don't think it will be that serious with Alex Bowman or Chase Elliott because they both have very long-term contracts. Which brings me to my next point. These guys have long-term contracts. Chase Elliott is signed with Hendrick Motorsports through 2027, and Alex Bowman is signed through 2026. Ally has invested millions of dollars to see Alex Bowman represent their brand. They want Alex Bowman driving that 48 car, racing for them, competing for them, winning for them especially. They want that brand recognition from their guy. So when a driver does something like get themselves injured, well, yeah, I mean, sometimes it's their fault, sometimes it's not, and it is their lives to live. But they also have to consider that it's not just themselves they're putting at risk. It's also the sponsors that are investing in them. It's also the teams that are counting on them to show up, the pit guys, the engineers, the crew chiefs. And also, it's us, the fans, that want to see Alex Bowman race. I don't want to see him sidelined. Alex Bowman's one of my favorite drivers. I hate to hear that he's going to be out. So, yeah, definitely a good argument for drivers having more restrictions on their contracts is that when they do go out, like Bowman did, and they do something that does get them injured, well, the consequences are more severe than we give them credit. And this just reminds me of a few months ago when Christopher Bell told interviewers that Joe Gibbs isn't letting him do dirt racing anymore this year. And we were all like, oh, man, that's not cool. Christopher Bell's a superstar. You got to let him do what he wants to do. He's a great dirt racer. You should let him do what he loves. Let me tell you something right now. Joe Gibbs is the smartest guy in the garage. He is keeping his superstar healthy, okay? While Hendrick Motorsports, supposedly the biggest team in the sport, has had 2 of their drivers sidelined, Joe Gibbs Racing has 4 healthy drivers. All 4 can compete for the playoffs and for wins at this point. And his superstar, Christopher Bell, is winning races and leading the championship standings. So definitely Joe Gibbs is winning out in this category. And again, these are all good arguments for both sides. You can say, okay, yeah, it's their own lives. You can't inhibit racers from doing crazy things. Racing is a crazy thing. But at the same time, you also want them in the car. You want them racing. A team owner is paying them paychecks to sit in that car and win races. And honestly, the only guy in this scenario that's winning in any way is Josh Berry. Now, I'm not saying that Josh Berry is glad Bowman is injured by any means, but it is cool to see him get some extra Cup experience. Because we're always saying, oh man, if only this guy had a better ride in the Cup Series, then he would definitely impress us. Well, Josh Berry is getting that opportunity. He's getting a really good ride in the Cup Series, like he had with Chase, and he got some top 10s and almost won Richmond. So, I mean, I don't know. In the 48 car, can he surprise us? We got Dover this weekend, Kansas, Darlington, he's been pretty good at. So, who knows? Can Alex Bowman win in the 48 part-time for Hendrick Motorsports? That would be crazy. But anyway, just for the record, this video was not made to in any way demean or poke fun at Alex Bowman. I know I've kind of been riding him a little bit, but this, of course, is a serious injury. Back injuries are very serious. He has a broken vertebrae, more specifically, and we don't know how this will affect his performance on track. I hope not too bad, but more importantly, I hope that he gets back to a good physical shape, and I just wish all the best, a speedy recovery for the driver of the 48, and I wish him all the best in the world. I merely made this video to bring the topic on whether or not drivers should have more restrictions placed on them by either their teams or NASCAR on whether or not they should keep doing their crazy activities outside of the track. Like I said at the start of this video, I was kind of in the middle, and I still am, but I think at this point I'm leaning more towards having a few more restrictions. Like, let the drivers live their crazy lives, let them do them, but just have a few more side notes in those contracts so that you don't see guys breaking their legs or hurting their backs in the middle of the season, so that you don't see, Chase Elliott and Alex Bowman repeats. But again, let me know what you guys think. Please leave a comment and let me know. Do you think NASCAR or the teams need to enforce more restrictions? Do you think there should actually be less? Do you think what we have now is good? Let me know. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this video, please stay up to date with this channel by subscribing. Help me hit my goal of 100 subscribers by the end of this month. And also, leave a like if you liked what you saw. And even if you didn't, leave a like anyway. Anyway, this has been 4Wide. See you later, guys.
Four wide! Oh, no! And into the wall!
No. Oh, no, what
But Gordon and Stewart, and then cars trying to sweep by on the outside.